Thank you. I mean, I'm the one who should be really grateful because of your time. You taught a lot. I'm like, how do you? So that's definitely one question that I'll be asking you when we go there. And well, so just 30 minutes thereabout, so that you can get back to maybe resting.
Let me see if I could get some better light though.
All right, we're coming in less than a minute.
Okay.
Oh, it's on YouTube, by the way.
This jacket. Give me a minute. It's probably gonna be very cold out here, but jeez.
Sorry.
See what happens when they force you, not force you, when they make you do an interview 9 a.m. in the morning in Germany.
I'm sorry. All right, we're coming live.
Freezing. Jeez. Okay, awesome. Whew.
Now, if you know that song all the way from 2008 from the album No Longer at Ease, that means you know who my guest is. If you enjoy the kind of songs she sings and, of course, the messages she advocates, that means, again, that you are a fan, a lover of my guest. If you're following us across all social media platforms, that means you have seen the face of who my guest is. And if you're not, right now, you can go to our YouTube platform where we're streaming live and see her gorgeous, are flawless. Now, flawless is actually a word that should be used to describe her because I cannot see an iota of any blemish, no flaw, no wrinkles. And trust me, it's not about the camera. I have seen many pictures of hers. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me to welcome the queen of eclectic music, multiple award winning when it concerns the R&B, the neo soul, the reggae, of course, the soulful hip hop. You'll find her dishing out content in that regard. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, men and women, do welcome Nneka.
Thank you for that
Thank
introduction.
you.
Very elaborate.
No,
I woke up like this. No,
that is what
I
we
did
aspire
literally.
to wake up like this, like actually, like wake up looking like the morning rose or the morning dew. How do they call it now? For real.
Yes, the
And I,
morning fresh. Morning fresh. Is that not
okay.
the thing we used to wash plates?
Actually, that's a brand name that we use in washing plates. But you define money fresh in another way, and that's beautiful. I think I should even start from there. Over the years, I have seen your face, I have listened to your music. You have stayed the same, and this is no exaggeration. I'm sure I'm not the only one who has told you that. Your looks have stayed the same since as long as I can remember. And right now, you're in your 40s. You still look the same. How are you able to do that?
Well, I think a lot goes in to how you take care of yourself. Like
Mm,
yeah, music of course I would first of all say God, sustenance,
mm,
belief, trust in a higher power that is beyond myself, beyond
mm,
us, but yet within each and every one of us, regardless of who and what you think you are.
mm.
And then of course the physical aspect, so like the earthly aspects, which would have to do with um music keeps you young. Making music, just I think, just dancing just revives you, moving your
Hmm.
body in some way or some shape or form. um how you eat, if you exercise, you take care of yourself. I mean, I wouldn't say I always did in the beginning of my career, but there was a point where I was touring a lot, and
Hmm.
I just couldn't do it anymore, like with the alcohol and the other stuff. And I was like, okay, you know what? If we really want to keep this going for another couple of years, or better to say whenever, till whenever, then we need to start taking care of ourselves. So I found, sports, running, swimming, yoga,
Yeah.
and loads of water.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So if you should give us a skincare recipe, will you say water and minding your business? Because that's the common one.
Well, that as well. But I would
Okay.
say, yeah, cold showers.
Ah, I
Don't do,
see.
don't apparently don't do the hot shower. You know, our ancestors or our forefathers used to do this before we kind of like forgot.
Mm. And the
Yeah.
weather changed. We had global warming, and right now it's like temperatures are dropping and increasing. In places where they're not dropping, they are really increasing. So sometimes you're forced to do the hot water, and sometimes you're forced to do the cold water. I did something, in fact, I still used to do it, and people around me think I am weird. When it's really hot, I drop ice blocks inside my water to have my bath.
Very
Yeah.
good. Very good. Because that reduces the inflammation in the body.
Mm-hmm.
There's this thing called the Wim Hof method. Before this guy, this amazing, funny old guy who just swims in ice water,
Hmm.
uh, like all his life. Like that's what he does every morning. So that kind of also helped me
Wow.
through a specific phase, like I was going through. And I was like, okay, because it's also it's very good for your psychological state of mind as well. Like so people who going through depression or some form of like if you have a skin disease, neurodermitis, or you just take a cold shower, man.
Mm-hmm.
And just for 5 minutes every day, and you feel better.
Interesting.
Sounds
But
odd, but yes.
yeah, cold showers are relieving, absolutely. Except when you're shaking, like you're really cold though. But I'm curious. Do
So
you
you
have a?
do it.
Hmm?
That's exactly what it is. You do it. When it's cold, you go cold.
Hmm.
It's just a mindset.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's segue into your fashion. If I should describe your fashion life or your fashion pattern, or if I should describe your fashion, if a word comes to my mind and I say comfortable, will I be correct?
Yeah, definitely comfortable. You have to be comfortable in life. I mean, come on now. If you're gonna be standing 2 hours on stage, come on now.
You don't want to wear heels and all of that stuff?
Oh, heels are nice. If you feel connected, if you're still like if you still feel grounded. What heels do to me, and maybe not all types of heels, but when is this thing that happens to my attitude when I wear heels? Really strange. I don't know why. I don't know
So what
why.
happens?
Like, let's say, give me like 10 to 15 minutes, and I would just, there's a switch. There's like this,
Okay.
oh, I don't know. And I might start behaving kind of strange. I don't know.
Do you mean like sassy, bossy,
A
chic,
little,
or
yeah, I can be maybe sassy. And then,
hmm,
but then if I'm really present with myself, I
hmm,
probably could wear heels and it would not matter, right? But your feet are above the earth, right? So
yeah.
there's some form of resistance to gravity.
Mm-hmm.
This is really deep. Nigerians be like, what's she talking about?
Like they're
Like
just
Jared,
heels.
these Oyibo people and their nonsense. No, it's not. This is me. I beg. Muna no vex. If na one wear heel, Muna wear heel. As for me,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's cool. I like to wear the heels once in a while, but I really have to ground myself
Hmm.
before going on a heel, or probably do some fire prayer on those heels before I wear them.
Wow, that's very refreshing. So,
Yes.
Lagos and the rest of the world, if you want to see the face of this woman that cannot be boxed into that hole of convention, well, you should come to YouTube, search for Smooth 91 FM Lagos on YouTube and join the conversation. Of course, you can also send a WhatsApp message to 0809 4440981. If you're a fan and you feel like, oh, where has she been? Well, she's been dropping songs. Actually, I'm going to play you one of the songs from her. This one is titled This Life. The way you just take the definition of heels to another, I'm like, are we talking about the same heels? You know, the one we just wear for the sake of it?
I'm telling you, it's a thing. Oh. For me, I mean, but listen, it depends also on where you are. Like in Germany, you can't be running around with heels, like it's freezing.
There are some people who can go hours wearing heels. Hours,
God
literally. In
bless
fact, I know
them.
somebody who said anytime she's not wearing heels, she tends to walk like a duck. Like, you know, wado, like duck. Like, yeah.
She's probably used to
Literally.
it.
She is very used to it. And I used to have this roommate then. Anytime she's not on heels, she already is used to this thing. So even if she's walking barefooted, that she does have feel like this, like, you know, she's doing it herself. I'm like, are you a zombie or something? It's, people are weird in different ways. Very weird.
And you know, I grew up running barefooted. Like I grew up in Warri. So like most of the time when we were kids, all we would do is just run around in the bush, in the just barefooted and do everything barefooted. So my feet are kind of like this. They're spread out like duck. They're like if you try to push them in those heels,
That's going to be a revolt.
it's very painful. They should kind of like if there would be a next invention for heels, like maybe they could make like slipper heels, like wide.
So there are shoes that are actually allow each of your toes to slip into one. I don't know how to call it. You
Yeah,
know the
yeah,
way.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So there are shoes like that. But I don't know if they are heels. Yes.
But that
So
would be cool if they had
the way you're
those.
walking, it's like that thing that divers have, that artificial thing. So it's like you're doing this on the ground like this. That's interesting.
How long have you worked at
Smooth.
Smooth? Yeah.
Yeah. Altogether 2 years thereabouts.
And that's your name now, Oluwaseun. Abi?
Washil.
Oluwaseun.
Yeah.
Hmm. You like it? Of course.
Yeah.
We're live now.
Right. Yeah. I'm trying to put the songs
It's
together.
pretty long, but it's getting to the end.
3 minutes is long.
I mean,
No. So
for
that's
radio,
I do not belong to the class of people who like a 2 minutes long song. I believe songs should be at least 3 minutes, 10 seconds, or 3 minutes. Allow me time to chew on the song. Let me take in the instrumentals. But these days, it's like everybody's making music like instant noodles. You know, 2 minutes, you're just done. Nah, I don't like it. So I enjoy long music. And it's because I think the attention span of people these days have dropped, so they just have to follow. Yeah. Love music. All right, we're coming back. Love life. 98.1. If you stay tuned to us, you're going to listen to lots of good music. You're tuned into Breakfast in Bed here on Smooth 98.1. I love music, love life. Actually, I do have my very special guest this morning. I am talking about none other than Nneka. Did I get that right? Nneka.
Nneka.
Huh. That's Mother is Supreme, right?
Mother is supreme. It's only Nigerians that can get that translation proper.
How
Nice.
do others call it?
It feels good to have someone just say the meaning of the name. See, in Germany they say Nneka. In France they say Nneka. In America they say Necker.
Oh wow.
Yes, it's different everywhere, but I accept it all.
Yeah. And I guess you really don't have much of a choice. You just have to be cold, right? And now, speaking of earlier, you were talking about the heels and all of that, and when you were also talking about how you've been able to retain your beauty and freshness and your youth. Yeah, you were talking about connecting to a higher power. So, in your songs, I mean, you've had a number of songs that talk about your faith. You know, you have Job, the Job life. You have Romans 8, I think, 39 to 37 to 39, right? So if I should call you, would you describe yourself as a religious person, as a devout Christian, or a person of faith?
Um, I would say all of them,
Hmm.
but I would kind of like drop the religious. I do some things religiously,
Yeah.
which means repetitively, but religiously would mean repetition from my understanding of
Mm-hmm.
things. But I wouldn't say this, the institutionalized type of religion, which is what is very commercialized. I tend to not identify with that anymore.
What do you mean anymore?
There was a time where I would say I was very. I don't. Okay, I'll just put it in one thing. I do believe that God loves each and every one of us, regardless of what we're doing or what we've done. And I do believe that there is no condemnation in Christ, just as it is stated in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
I also do believe um, that you have to love yourself in order to love others.
Yeah.
And so I misunderstood the whole thing growing up and being a very tight, hardcore, born again Christian growing up in Nigeria, which was good for me because it protected me to a certain degree from certain things, and I did feel like my relationship to God is genuine, was always genuine. Um, but what I didn't understand was that I thought that I needed to prove myself for God to love me. And that's what religion sometimes does. Like you have to work hard for God to love you. And that's not true, right? And the part of the self-love, which was like, yeah, you do so much for other people and you just remove yourself from the equation. So like Christians are supposed to look good, man. If you're a follower of Christ, look good. Doesn't mean you shouldn't, you can't wear nice clothes and 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 look clean,
Mm-hmm.
or yeah, if you want to feel like you need to wear, I don't know, just wear what you want, right? So those types of things kind of like, this is just the basic vague stuff, but I would say it went deeper than that. So like where you start constantly feeling guilty when you do not do things. Now there is also no guilt. The Holy Spirit does not make you feel guilty, and mistaking the voice in your head, or rather to say your conditioning, for the voice of the Holy Spirit is a big thing. So that also kind of, till today, I still have those, you know, effects. I would just say, like, I'm not condemning or pushing away any form of religion, because I've been all of them. I've been all of it. And I feel that God is within all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Yet at the same time, I'm a follower of Christ. And I yeah, Christ was a cool guy. Christ Christ hung out with tax collectors and prostitutes, and that's where I'm at.
Okay. So when
you
you
know.
wrote the song Yahweh and then you did the video for it, it has this heavy, touch of, I don't know if I should say religion or faith. So what was going through your mind when you wrote Yahweh and when you produced or when the video was produced?
It was a conversation with God. It's a conversation, an open conversation with God. Like, okay, and that goes back to what I was just saying about the Pharisaical thinking. Like the Pharisees are the guys who just always wanted to do things right, in the Bible, and they
Yeah.
were the ones who come and condemn Jesus. Like, hey, dude, you're not supposed to heal on a Sabbath. You're not supposed to be hanging with these guys. You're supposed to do things like this, like this. So that's I've grown up being having a Pharisee within my head and constantly standing there and telling me, you did this wrong or you did that wrong. And I've mistaken the voice of a Pharisee, I believe, for the voice of God within me. And so what Yahweh kind of like, with Yahweh, I acknowledge that, okay, that's if that was the voice of God, because every voice at the end of the day is kind of a voice of God, because it will always kind of align you, even if it is like a dark voice, because God is in everything. Sounds really odd, I know, right? I'm like, okay, so God, what's up? I've done all these things. I've been good. I'm cool. Kind of like the conversation Job had when Job was like, so why are we now going through this now? So I was like, I've reached a certain stage, and then now I'm having a conversation again with God. Okay, we've been here before. So why are you bringing up another challenge? When we've already passed that hurdle, when you've already told me that I've spiritually evolved. Yeah. And yeah, so what it just does to you is, or what life does to you is, like when you think like you got everything together, and most of the time when it's the ego that tells you that, the universe, God, tends to test you or humble you in such a way that, okay, you think you're done with this? Let's go back there. Let's see how you react. Would you make the same mistakes? And if you make the same mistake, have compassion for yourself, because it's okay, right? So yeah.
Interesting. Very deep thought. Now I'll take this message from Ali Istan, I dare say. He said, I love, love, love me some Nneka. Can't get enough of her. Her genuine ordinariness, her natural flow, her simplicity, her energy, and to top it all, her craft, the music, OMG. I and my father of blessed memory fell in love with Heartbeat that year when it aired on Nigeria television channel. And for me, Soul is Heavy became my all-time favorite album of you. And years to come, tracks like Jay, Lucifer, Sleep, Stay, My Home, Shining Star will live in my head forever. Love you
Oh,
loads. Yeah,
no, accept
that.
that blessing. Accept that.
Wow. All right,
Thank
let's take a break. Let's sip on some tea. And this one is coming from Nneka.
Is it loud here?
What?
Is it loud?
The song or your voice? Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah. So what's the tea behind the song? You have to spill the tea, definitely.
Yeah, I'll spill it. I will. It's pretty easy to understand tea.
Okay. Who made you write tea? Who did you write tea for? What did you?
It's an old friend, just an old when you encounter old acquaintances, right? And when maybe you it could be friendships where that just you think dissolve, like physically, but they linger on in the mind and spirit. And
Yeah.
then when you physically see again, then you start where you stop. So to say, like there's this, yeah, for me, tea was that kind of, yeah, meeting an old friend, and it could be yourself. It could also be meeting an old you,
Yeah.
an old version of yourself
Or maybe yourself that you didn't have enough time to catch up with.
as well.
Yeah. Interesting.
But also maybe a love situation where you think, it just somebody just disappeared on you.
Right. Not just
Ghosted
a
you.
ghost. That's like a more appropriate, like you just ghosted on the person.
Somebody ghosted you, and then there
Yeah.
might have been a perception like where you are just like fully, you might think you were the problem in the beginning, but then with time you realize
It wasn't you.
no, it was necessary, the space.
Interesting.
That's why I'm like, I said, I'm sure you didn't mean it. I'm sure I told myself you didn't mean it when you left, because come on now, we're just too cool. You can't just go just like that. But now I get it. You needed to love yourself, and I needed to love myself so that we can love ourselves, right?
Two whole individuals.
Exactly.
Interesting. Do you write all your songs yourself?
Yeah.
All of them. Wow. So how do you write that? Well, apparently things that come to you. There is also the advocacy part, right? And those really strong messages you never stop passing across.
It's time to take out the trash. You're my family. So my sweetie.
So when we come back, we'll play one game and then we continue. So the game is called Freudian Sleep. Well, as a German, you should know
It's called what?
Freudian Sleep. From Sigmund Freud.
Sigmund Freud.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So basically, I call a name. I say something to you. You don't think. You don't try. You just say what comes to your mind.
Of similar mind, bound by a common goal, one nation, connected, indivisible, driven by purpose of life. One world.
I like your hair, by the way.
One heaven,
thank you.
love, peace and unity.
Non-violence was the only weapon.
Where music is one station of music.
We're coming after this one.
Reaching one individual, one people, one nation, one world, one dial, 98.1.
In a world where you can love a lot of things, love music and love life. Smooth 98.1. My name is Oluwaseun, and you're tuning to Smooth Explorer here on Breakfast in Bed on Smooth. My very special guest this morning is Nneka, and you can join us, be a part of the conversation, send your messages to 0809-444-0981. You can also drop it on YouTube. And of course, you can also call in on the number 01-448-9981. We're going to play a usual game here, a ritual game here on Breakfast in Bed. And the game is a Freudian sleep. So I explained to you that I just say a word, and whatever comes to your mind, you say it. You don't need to think. You don't need to try to be smart or logical about it. Just spill. Are you ready?
Okay. Yes.
All right. Let's start. Hip hop.
Huh?
Hip hop.
Oh, hip hop. Mob Deep.
Pain.
Spain or pain?
Pain.
Suffering.
Green.
Rice.
Beauty.
Nneka.
Home. That's some self-love there. I like it.
Home,
Yeah. Yeah, home.
present moment,
Love.
no fear.
Oil.
Oil,
Yes.
palm oil,
Nigeria.
worry,
Laughter.
joy,
Food.
egusi,
What?
egusi soup.
Why is that the first thing that comes to your mind when you
This
hear?
is my favorite.
That's very interesting. So all you Nneka fans, now you know something about her. All right, then let's continue. Water.
No pass Gary. We don't pass Gary.
Okay, I didn't see that coming. Mother.
It's supreme.
A word.
Grammy,
Fella.
hootie,
Candles.
yoga,
Race.
rats,
Music.
Bob Marley,
Language.
Igbo.
Which one? There is one that I was supposed to say. I've forgotten. So why is Bob Marley strongly associated with music for you?
I think he had, just being the person he was and what he stood for. It was not simply music alone. It was a movement, and he was able to use music just as Fela did, I think, in a certain way, to impact lives, to change people's lives, to touch people's souls, to go touch politics. It's bigger. It became bigger than politics, bigger than religion. Music is pretty impactful, yeah. And Bob, for me, just did it the right way.
All right, let me quickly take this call. Hello, good morning. Good morning. What's your name? Flora. Flora, where are you calling from? All right, what would you like to say? Hello? You said? I said, what would you like to say? Oh, are you calling for the game? Oh, no, it's not time for the game. It's past, actually. The time for the game was 8:40 to 8:55. So we are in another segment now. Yeah, you have to call back next week. Thank you. Yeah, sorry. It's this kids game that we have from 8:40 to 8:55. So I didn't expect anybody to call at this time.
Maybe
yeah,
she's from the UK, maybe UK time.
So she's 1 hour behind.
Yeah, maybe.
That's interesting. Sorry. Okay, so I mentioned earlier when we were talking before we started the official conversation that you're constantly on tours. How is that for you? You're like a nomadic musician. You're like always constantly going from one place to the other, sharing your music, meeting your fans. First, how did that start, and how is the experience like for you?
Wow. Yeah. How it started is like, I think it's part of the life of I would say of a musician, or I would say, it's part of music. It depends on what kind of artist you are, I guess. Like if you are keen on sharing with the world, then yes, you would want to travel places to share your music. And it started 20 years ago? When did the BBC? Yeah, I didn't have I wasn't touring immediately at the beginning of my career, but I would say like 3 years in, then I started touring. So what happens is when you start as a musician in the West or in Europe, you open up, for instance, for other artists in order to gain your own platform or your own audience. So I did tour with the likes of Canals Barkley and Patrice and and then after that, when I then started getting my own audience more and more, I had my own fan base. I was able to, tour with other artists like Lenny Kravitz and Nas and Damian Marley and the rest of them. So it's a way of being able to access also a different type of audience, plus identify, like, most of the artists you tour with, their fans would like your stuff. So that's the marketing idea behind touring, I believe. And then festivals are the big thing. So like we have these festivals around Europe, America, Africa, where it's just a bunch of artists from different genres playing for a couple of days on a festival, like 3-4 days or a week festival. And those are the ones that are pretty interesting. So, you gain it's a nice thing to be able to share your music with people probably who don't even have ever heard you before, like, on those festivals. So like I just came back from 2 days ago, I was in Poland, and it was the first big festival since COVID. It's like, I don't know, it may have been 10,000, 20,000 people. It was huge. I played there before, but just being there and the different types of artists that were there, I was just like, wow, okay. I might not identify with every type of music here, but then the next day I go on my social medias and I have like loads of new people following on my media, right? So that's what it does. Festivals are pretty good for that. But of course, the deeper thing for me is more like performing. I wouldn't even say performing, sharing, loving, and seeing your reflection in this audience, seeing, okay, is this where I'm at in my life? Because I do believe, like, most of the time, your audience also tells you what's going on in your mind and what's going up in your system, right? The world tells you actually who you are in a way, or what's going on inside of you. You know what I mean? Spiritually.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
But do you get exhausted, tired? You don't want to continue sometimes?
Yeah, I've had those moments. Like like when we had those tours of 3 months where you just keep going. But like, it kind of might get exhausting. Like after the first 2 weeks are kind of like, whoa. And then you just get into it. You get into it. And it's almost even harder for you to leave touring. So like when the tour is coming to an end, you start feeling strange. Like, why? I don't want to end. I just want to continue. So it's getting back into the regular life. That's the part that is slightly harder for many touring artists. Like, how do you
Yeah. Wow. How have your family and friends been helpful towards helping you adjust back to that life that you left behind?
Well, family is more like family, like blood family, or
anybody you call family, people you call family. Or are the family the ones that you travel with?
No, I don't. I've never traveled with my family.
Yeah. So the ones that you come back to when you're done touring.
As if you have anyone you come back to.
Oh, wow.
Because sometimes they just like signed out on you. No, I'm joking. No, but that's like, of course, that has happened too, and that's fine, because that's understandable. But yeah, I mean, cool, you know, like you get back, those people around you, they just need to, they if they get you, then they understand, okay, like I'm someone, if I come back from a tour, I need like a week to be able to communicate properly with anybody. So like
what do you do?
I sleep, I eat and sleep and eat and sleep and
sleep some more.
And sleep some more and just not do anything. I try to just stay put, not communicate, not go on my socials, not go on the phone. I don't even want to go on the phone. It's kind of like a thing that happens. Just like I go into silence. And then I'm able to, like, after maybe 4 or 5 days, then I slowly start coming out again. And I'm like, okay, cool. Let's talk. Let's meet. Like now I was on tour for like 2 months in Africa. I just came back a week ago. And then I did Poland. Like when I got back, when I got to Germany, it was just like, nah. Phone is ringing, I'm not picking. I mean, I love you, but no.
I love myself too.
Yeah. So that's my way. But there's other people, they can go out talking but that's my way. In order for me to be there for you, I just need to.
It's like a recharging moment.
Yeah.
It's good. Sadly, we are out of time. I didn't think we were going to stretch this long. We are totally out of time and I must leave now and let you go back to resting and preparing for your show in the evening. Thank you so much for availing me the opportunity and being here, sharing your face, and sharing more about you. Thank you so much. Now, if people want to follow you across all social media platforms, I suppose it is at Nneka World, right?
Yes, thank you. Where you and I connected.
Yeah, yes, actually, yes.
Smooth FM, they've always supported me. I love Smooth FM ever since. Long time. Yeah, shout out to all of you. Even I think I remember the first the Oga Kwata Kwata of Smooth FM back in the days. Mr. I met him. Yeah. May he rest well. God bless him.
Oh, okay, that's Kirk. Yeah.
Yeah, and thank you. I mean, accept and bless.
We do love you. I mean, you make really good music and we are a fan of good music anytime, any day. So yes, as long as you make the music that is good, we will always support you. Thank you again and again. So Lagos and every part of the world, if you have missed out on this lovely, this beautiful, this delicious conversation, just go to our YouTube channel. The video will be up there for you to replay and relive some of the memories that happened in the course of the conversation. It's at Smooth 92 FM Lagos on YouTube. Thank you again, Nneka, for being my guest.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye for now.
All right, Lagos, thank you so much. I am going to sign out on Breakfast in Bed for this lovely morning. It's always a pleasure to be with you every Saturday morning from 7 a.m. till 10 a.m. Let's do this again tomorrow. Oh, did I say tomorrow? Yeah, no, tomorrow is Sunday. I'm not going to be here. But let's do this again next week, Saturday, same time, 7 a.m. till 10 a.m. And when you're making plans for your Christmas, you better include me in it. If not, I'll appear in your house, come with a ghost, disrupt your plans. No, I didn't mean it. All right, do enjoy what is left of your weekend and please take care of yourself. COVID is very much out there. Do the needful, wear your mask, sanitize, and just be very, very careful. So I'll sign out with this one again coming from Nneka and it is titled With You. My name is Oluwaseun.